What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video tonight. You may be wondering, what does bomb-proofing your handgun mean? It's a process I learned about 8 months ago, and it's really cool. I'll show you it here in a second. Before I start the video, I just wanted to quickly say a couple of things. I wanted to get you guys' opinion on something. I've had some people of lately tell me that the videos that I may be, yapping too much. And the videos, I believe, in my opinion, I do them to be very informative. I try to get as much detail about whatever it is I'm doing out there, because I know when I watch a video, whatever I'm looking up, if it's a review of a product or whatever it may be, I like to get as much information from that person as possible, and as accurate information as I can from that person. Now, some of the people who have commented about that, I don't know if they're just people who are just casually watching the videos, are not watching them all the way through. Like I said, I try to mitigate the non-informational stuff that I talk about to a minimum. Like, say, for example, these openings. Oh, excuse me, I got to get a drink. New flavor of Red Bull. Sorry about that. Probably something like that. But anyways, I try to get as much information out as I can of whatever it is, like, for example, tonight's video. But you know what? You guys are my viewers. If you guys feel that way, let me know, but I feel that I'm trying to do the best I can for you guys, because like I said, I try to put myself in the mindset, if I was watching somebody doing a review of a video, that I got as much information out of them as I could. So, with that being said, let me get briefly into what I'm talking about. The process of what they call bomb-proofing your gun is a process of heating up your gun and putting on a coating. And a coating of, well, I'll tell you what, let me pause it, let me get onto the video and actually what's going on with it, and then I'll explain it as I'm doing it. So give me a second, I'm going to reset the camera, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here it is. This is what bomb-proofing is. It's a process that I saw a while back, like I said, about 6 to 8 months ago. And what you do is you're going to take, it was shown on, when I watched it, it was shown for handguns. Now, I have not seen it. I imagine it could work for rifles. But all the videos that I saw about it was on handguns. And the process really works. What you're doing is you're going to take a gun, and you're going to go ahead and strip it down. And when you do that, it's the process of, once you strip it, you're going to take a blow dryer, okay? And what you do is you take that and you heat and you disassemble your gun completely, field strip your gun. Once you do that, you will go ahead and take the blow dryer and you will heat every single part of the gun. And you heat it to a point to where you can barely touch it. Okay. What you're trying to do is you're trying to open up the pores in the metal and also in the polymer, depending on what type of gun you have. Most guns are half metal, half polymer, anyways. And every part, from the trigger to everything. And then you use this stuff right here. For people who are in the business, probably know about frog lube. Frog lube is, not getting into too many details, was developed by an ex-military gentleman who, after he got out of the military, engineered this stuff. And basically what this stuff does, I use this in everything that I've got. I use it, it's a dual purpose. It's like a CLP, but better. It's a dual purpose. It cleans and it also protects your guns. It's a lube at the same time. It's non-corrosive. It's not most gun cleaning material is made out of petroleum-based products. Frog lube is not. It's all natural. This stuff is supposed to be so harmless to where if you even ate this stuff, it wouldn't hurt you at all. Would I eat it? No. It's got a real strong minty green smell to it, which I don't mind. But what it is, there's two different styles that it comes in. It comes in a, if you saw my other cleaning video, you saw the frog lube that was in a liquid form. But this stuff is in a paste. And I've used it before, so you'll see that I've used it. Okay, and it's a paste. Okay, and what happens is when you heat the gun up extremely hot, you'll take like a Q-tip or you know, a cloth or something, and you will heavily wipe down the gun. And what happens is the gun will, and you let it set for a while. And what happens is the paste melts into the gun, and it seeps into the pores of the gun. And what it literally does is it puts a protective coating. That's why they call it bomb-proof. It puts a protective coating on the, it's almost like an invisible permanent coating that is actually put on the gun. Now I have done this to another gun, which I'll show you at the end of the video, and I've shot it several times since then, and literally all I've done just to see if it works is when I brought it home, I've just wiped it down. I've not put any other kind of cleaner in it, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So let's get into the gun. Now the gun I'm going to do tonight is one of my all-time favorite guns. I don't want to get too deep into it, but this is an FNS 9. Now this gun right here, I've probably put about 700 rounds through it. This is probably one, I mean, I've got several handguns in my collection, as if you watch my videos you'll know. But I will have to say, bar none, hands down, this is definitely in the top 3 of my favorite handguns. I have ran all kinds of ammo through this, and this thing has not malfunctioned once. It'll feed anything. It's a wonderful, wonderful gun. But without getting into too many details of the gun, because that's not what this video is for, we'll go ahead and get into actually taking it apart. Now, I carry a Surefire X400 on here, which is pretty cool. Probably will blind it. This is the one that has the, oops, it's got the light and laser combo on it. Really cool. Also, as far as my ammo is concerned, I run the, for my home defense, I only keep this in my magazine for when I'm at home. And this is for the, this has got that RIP G2 ammo in it, 9mm. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the field stripping the gun. So I took the magazine out, look down, chamber, clear. So what you do is to field strip the FNS 9, you'll rack the slide back, lock it. It's got a takedown lever right here, which you'll push down. You'll push it down just like this, okay? Then you will go ahead and release the slide. When you release the slide, you'll notice that the gun is not, it's a little bit more forward than it should be, the slide. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and, there we go. You're going to pull back the slide until it's flush with the beaver tail. And when you do that, you get it right in the right spot, you pull the trigger, and your slide will come right off. Okay? So, now, what you're going to do is I'm going to get me a nice little clean cloth here. So here's the bottom part of the gun. Pretty simple. You take out your recoil spring and your barrel. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now the gun is field stripped. Now you could probably get into actually taking out the trigger assembly, but there's really no need in doing that. And so what you're going to do next is you're going to take a blow dryer here. And as far as the time is concerned, I'll obviously not going to be able to, once I turn this on, be able to talk over the blow dryer, but I'll cut in it and cut it out of it real quick to kind of show you before I get it done, maybe halfway through it. But what you'll do is you'll take your just a normal blow dryer from your wife. It trust me, it doesn't hurt the blow dryer, so you can take your wife's blow dryer. And what you're going to do is you'll put it on most blow dryers. I think they have like a cool setting and a hot setting. Make sure it's on the hot setting, and you'll turn it on, and you will directly just go over every single part of the gun. Okay, I'm talking every part. You know, I'm gonna off camera. I'll take the Surefire flashlight off, so it'll be off when I get back. But anyways, you will heat every single part, from the slide to the barrel, the spring, everything, and you're going to do that until you can barely touch it. Okay, to where you can just, you know, it's not like I'm going to scorch you or burn you, a third-degree burn you, but it's going to get to a point to where you can, you know, you can't just hold it. You know, you can touch it, but you're not going to be able to just hold on to it. That's what you want. You want to get super hot to open. Like I said, you want to open up all the pores of the metal and the plastic of the polymer, so that when you put on the frog loop paste, it immediately melts. And then what happens after that is you're going to let it set. And you're going to let it set for quite a bit. But anyways, I'll get into that when I come back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to start doing it. And as far as the time that it takes to you know, get to the right temperature, there's no specific time. Like I said, I've done this about 3 times and it works great. You just do it until you get to a point to where, like I said, it's, you know, you can just barely touch it, and it's going to be like that for a while. So it could probably take anywhere between 5 to maybe 10 minutes, somewhere around there. And don't worry about your wife's blow dryer. My wife was worried about it too, and it doesn't mess it up. So anyways, let me get going on this, and I'll be right back. Alright, I hope you can hear me over this. I've been going at this now for probably, I'd say 4 or 5 minutes, and it's definitely starting to get warm. It's still not to the point to where it needs to be, but it's definitely getting there. And like I said, all you're going to do with this is you're just going to go over every piece, you know, every piece. The barrel, everything, until it gets to a point, like I said, every piece is. Also, I guess I should have mentioned too, before you do this, I guess I should have mentioned this is a key component of it. What you're supposed to do is you actually need to make sure before you do this, and I forgot, I did this off camera, is you need to take maybe some CLP or something, and you need to completely get any old stuff that you had on here, anything. Basically what it is, you want to wipe this thing completely clean. You want it completely dry of any additives, of any oils or solvents that you may have had on here. If it's a brand new gun, obviously from the factory, when they send it out, you know, they definitely put some stuff in it, some kind of oil, whatever. You want to get all of that out. You know, so, you know, I usually will take a Q-tip, and what I will do is I will actually take some kind of a CLP. I've got several, but I'll just take something, and I will get the initial grease, and this, you know, because sometimes they, you know, most of the times they test fire these, and they clean them, but they're still not like 100% clean. So there'll still be a little residue, gunpowder residues in some of the crevices. And what I'll do is I'll take a Q-tip and I will go through every little crevice, you know, even on the slide, you know, and where the firing pin is, everywhere. And I will just literally go over this and make sure that it is completely bone dry. Nothing's on there. And so, because you don't want it contaminated with anything else when you go ahead and put this frog lube on, because what will happen is if you do that, or if there's anything on there, any old CLP or whatever it is, and you don't take it off, when you go to put the frog lube on there, that's going to be a spot where it's not going to get into the metal or into the polymer and penetrate. So it won't be able to give you that protective coating over that particular part. Is that major? Probably not. But if you're going to go through the process of doing this and you want to do it right, you definitely need to do that. So anyways, yeah, I can't believe I totally forgot to tell you guys about that. So, but anyways, just talking with you now, this slide is really getting warm. The barrel's starting to get warm. Now, being that it's metal, it doesn't take as long for the metal to get hot. But the polymer takes, or the lower part of the gun will take a little bit more, but not much. So anyways, I figure we got a few more minutes, so I'll go ahead and pause this. We'll come back when we're ready to put on the next, put on the paste and show you the next step. Alright, so that took, like I said, a total of about, no more than 8 minutes. And it probably would have been less, but the polymer portion takes a little bit more, and right now it's pretty warm. So, before it cools down, what you want to do is get a Q-tip and watch what happens. If you've done it right and you've got it warm, as soon as you go and hit and touch the surface with the Q-tip, this stuff will immediately, the paste will melt completely. Okay, so, alright, so anyways, like I said, take a Q-tip here, and what you're going to do is you're going to put it in every portion of the gun, inside and out. Because like I said, what you're trying to do overall is to protect the gun. Not that doing this is going to, I'm not saying you ever have to clean the gun again. But what this does, like I said, is it gives it a protective coating of the gun. And frog lube, if you're not familiar with frog lube, just I wouldn't say Google it, but just go on YouTube. There's tons of videos of it. This stuff is just amazing stuff. I've watched several videos on here of tests people have done with this stuff. Put it on metal and set it out, and they've compared it, with other competitive oils and stuff like frog lube out there in the market. And hands down, the frog lube that they put the frog lube on, weeks later, sometimes months later, is, out in the elements, there's no rust on it. So this is, frog lube it's got a great reputation. All right. And frog lube is the only one or any product that you can do this with that I know of. Okay, so now the reason I did the receiver portion first is because it cools down a little bit faster. Now, as you can see here, like I said, this slide is really warm. Okay, I'm just barely kind of gotten my fingers on it. And I am just lacquering this stuff on as thick as possible. And the reason you're doing this, okay, now this is obviously not a normal way to, say if you were going to put lube on your gun to store it or for shooting, but this is not what this is for. Like I said, what's going to happen is you're going to, once you put this on here, you're going to let it set. And you're going to let it set for about 45 minutes. And what's going to happen, as the barrel and all the other parts cool down, this paste that you've put on here, it's going to dry up, I guess you could say, after it's seeped into the portions. And in about 45 minutes, when you come back, it's going to almost have like a filmy, pasty look to it, like it goes back to its pasty form. And what that is doing is that is actually what is not soaked into your gun has hardened. Okay, and that's what you want to do. You want to give it some time to seep into the pores, because right now when you heat up the gun like that, you have opened up the pores on everything. That's why you want to heat it up so high and so hot. And so what you'll do is when you come back in 45 minutes after it's been setting, you're going to come back through here and you're going to grab a clean rag, which is this rag right here I'll use. and you're going to wipe it down completely. Okay, you're going to get it. Now what's going to happen is, being that you've lathered this, and you can also do the mags. I haven't done it because I don't want to have to unload this all these rounds of this ammo. So, but you can even do it with this. It puts a protective coating on this also. Oh, the one part I think it's still good. I could do it. It's cooled down a little bit. Is the inside. Like I said, on the videos I've seen, and even people who have from the Frog Loop place who have talked about this, they tell you to do every portion of the gun. You know. So that's it. All right, I got it on the inside of the mag well. Anyways, so like I said, let it sit 45 minutes. I don't go 35, 40, I go 45 minutes. Give it plenty enough time for this to cool down, and let this stuff soak into the guns, and then we'll come back, and like I said, we'll wipe it down extremely well, and I'll show you what this one looked like. But I'm also going to show you my other gun that I've had this way for the last 6 months, and that I've shot, I'd say I've probably shot about maybe 400 rounds, 350, 400 rounds, I can't remember exactly. And the only thing I've ever done, as you may know, every time I come back, I don't shoot all that at once. I probably shoot about 100 to 150 rounds at a time. But every time I come back from the range, I always clean my guns. But with this gun, all I've ever done is I just field stripped it, took a rag, wiped it clean, and that is it. I've not lubed it up or nothing. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. So, anyways, we're going to pause the video here. We're going to be back in 45 minutes, show you what you do next, and then, like I said, I'm going to show you a gun that has had this process for 6 months and has gotten, like I said, 300 to 400 rounds through it, and what it looks like. So we'll be right back. Alright, so it's been about 45 minutes now, and we're going to go ahead and go through the next process. But before I go through it and wipe all this stuff off, I want you to see what it looks like. Hopefully maybe the camera will catch it. Actually, I'm going to, excuse me a second, I forgot to turn the light on my camera here so it goes better. Come on, light. There we go. Okay, anyways, so let me get right back into it. So let's take a look at what it actually looks like. See if I can get it kind of glistening. But anyways, I'll zoom in just a little bit so you can see what it's supposed to look like after you've waited the 45 minutes. It forms like a paste, or actually like a thick gel, I guess you could say. It's real thicky and cakey, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to dry and kind of it's almost like it's gone back to the paste form that it was before you put it on the gun. Like on the inside of the slide, I know you're not going to be able to see it, but right in there, I could definitely see it here. And also on the barrel itself, it's real cakey, thick. You could tell. I'm going to try to see if I can get the lighting and right here on this portion of the barrel. Let's see if you can see there. See, like right there, that's like a thick coating over it, and that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay, and that's what it does all over the entire gun when you do this and you let it sit for the 45 minutes. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a rag and we're going to wipe this completely dry. Okay, going to get every bit off of here. Because, like I said before, when you do this, oh, there we go. Keep losing track. Sorry about that. When you do this, when you wipe this off, it already has the frog lube embedded into the metal and the plastic. Okay, and if you don't get it all off, you'll know it in about a day or two, because in the little crevices or you didn't get it, see, like there's a little piece right there. You'll see it where it pastes up, and that barrel looks great, feels great. Now I'm not going to say that this it feels like, say nickel boron, has that kind of a slickness to it, but I can definitely tell a difference. It's definitely a little bit more, I guess you could say, slick than it would be with nothing on it. And technically, this doesn't have anything on it because you are you're wiping it all off, okay? And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm wiping everything off that was on here, okay? And let me get I thought I took some more Q-tips out. I guess I didn't. Let me go grab a few more Q-tips real quick. Anyways, what I'm going to do is, when I put the gun back together, normally whether you're, it's debatable on how you want to do this, and most people want to do this, but most people will put either some kind of a light coating of certain, if they're going to, say, store it for a while, versus if they're just going to put it away and, take it out and shoot it again, in a short period of time. And that's what normally I will do. I will go ahead and put something on it, like, frog lube, for example, or something like that. Keep it, good to go, so the next time I go out to the range, it's ready to fire, okay? But with this process here, you don't have to. I mean, like I said, it's not like you never have to lube this up. It doesn't mean by doing this process that you're never going to have to put any kind of lubricant on your gun ever again. That's not what this process does. What this process does, like I said, it'll protect it, and it kind of makes your gun, it will protect it because of the protective invisible coating, I guess you could call it, on here now. It will protect it from rust. Now, have I taken a gun and, and done like a real test and, say put this out and let a gun sit out in the elements for, a month or so, whatever, and test it that way? No. And I've not seen anybody on the internet do that either. But with that being said, all I can do is show you what I've done on my previous guns, show you the process, try it yourself, and see how it works. Okay, and like I said, it can hurt, and in my opinion, it does work. All right, so now I've got pretty much everything off of here. Oh, I almost forgot inside the mag well where I put it in there. Okay, so all right, so now take a look at it. It is pretty much, well, yeah, there's a little bit right here. I forgot. There we go. I want to make sure that all of it gets off, because the frog lube has served its purpose. Okay, it has gotten into the metal, and now it's almost like a permanent part of the gun. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and assemble the gun again. And like I said, this gun, while I'm putting this back together, this FNS 9, if you want to know more about this gun, do some reviews like I did. This gun is flawless. And I think what I'll probably do, since I like the gun so much, is I'll probably go ahead and actually do a video on it. So, alright, we do one little final wipe down, and give you take a look at it. Now obviously this gun has just been done, so it's definitely going to have that new look to it. Okay, but like I said, I want to show you another gun that I did, and like I said, I've not done anything to it except for just literally when I got it home after I've taken it back from the range, and just literally field strip it, wiped it down, and that is it. Alright, so There you go. Well, let's take a look at the gun. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. If it looks like I'm moving around, it's because I'm trying to look in the viewfinder at the same time. But anyways, there we go. So there's what the gun looks like after you get it done. I mean, it's beautiful. You know, I mean, if I didn't know this was a used gun, you know, inside and out, I would have thought it was a new gun. You know, so I really, you know, I'm probably going to do all my guns eventually. It is a process and it is a labor of love, but I definitely probably will do it because I've seen it firsthand on what it does. So let me show you the other gun I was talking about. Now this gun right here is another awesome favorite gun of mine, and this is the Sig Sauer P226 Dark Elite. This is a beautiful, sweet gun. Like I said, well, I need to do a review on this one also. But anyways, this gun right here, let me zoom out a little bit so I can, alright, and I'll zoom in the end. But this gun right here, like I said, same process, everything the same. I'm going to field strip it, and I want you to see what it looks like. You know, just from on the outside in, it almost looks just like the FNS I just done. So let's field strip it, and let me show you what it looks like. Alright. Well, actually, take the magazine out, sorry. Alright. Oops. Hold on. There we go. Alright, come on, there we go. Alright, first of all, let's look at the internals here with the, alright, there we go. Still trying to get this thing, alright, where the trigger is. Alright, now, I don't know if it can show it, but this thing is completely dry. There is no lube in it whatsoever. Okay, here's your feed ramps, and I'm going to wipe my finger, and I give you my word, okay, where is it at? Nothing on here. Okay, no lube, no nothing. Okay, and this gun looks like, in my opinion, a brand new gun. Okay, this is exactly what the gun looks like after firing 350 to 400 rounds, and all I've done is, like I said, every time, is just field stripped it, took it apart, and just literally wiped it down, and I've not put any lube in it. Okay? Let me just do this real quick. I'll get this video done and over with. This has a threaded barrel on it. But the point of me showing you this is I want to show you that this gun is dry. You can see there's no lube in it whatsoever. None in the slide, nothing. It is dry. There's nothing in here. Dry. Nothing. And that is, in my opinion, a testament to the protective coating of doing what we did with the frog lube. Okay? I don't know any other guns that you can just literally, probably besides maybe an 8K, that you can literally just come back after, you know, shooting it like that, 400 rounds, 300 to 400 rounds, and just wipe it down, shoot it, and not have any issues with it. And I have not had, I can promise you, I'm not lying to y'all, I've not had a issue one with this gun. So, anyways, so here they are, the guns. Here's the two guns. I highly recommend that you, if you want to really, you know, save your guns and make your guns last a little bit longer, I highly recommend doing this process. I'm a big believer in it, being that I've done it now twice, and I'm going to continue to do it on all my other guns. But anyways, thank you guys once again for watching my videos. You know, for me, I've gained a lot of subscribers here in the in the last 6 months. I know, I mean, I'm not, you know, hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers, but for me, I'm almost at 200. I think I'm at 197. So when I get to 200, for me, that's a milestone. I think I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something pretty cool for y'all. I'll figure out something. I think what I'll do when I hit 200 is I'll go out, and I think I mentioned this on the last video, but I'm going to go ahead and go out, and I'm going to go ahead and just take every single one of my ARs and just blast them. Have some fun with them. Let you see every one of them. It'd be pretty cool. But anyways, until next time, everybody, thank you once again. Like down there, hit the like button down there. I definitely welcome all comments. I read them all. I take them to heart as far as you know, what you guys are saying and what you want. But please, thank you once again for everything you guys have done and watched. But like, subscribe, and until next time, peace out.